What up? I previously made a video talking about why the universe isolates you, and the video seemed to do very well. People seem to like that a lot. I mentioned in the video that I'm going to turn it into a series, so this is the continuum of this video. If you haven't seen the first one, go check it out. But this video is why the universe isolates you so you can win. In the previous video, I mentioned many factors, many of the reasons, many of the deeper insights behind this isolation. Those would be you having to get to know yourself at a new, higher vibration, you shedding your old skin to rise as something new, letting go of the past, letting go of what is no longer serving you, and discovering your true self, your true authentic mission, your true passion, your true interests, which are aligned with your own journey and not influenced by any external factors, by any, opinion of people or certain social norms, simply your own mission, your own path, your authentic path. And also rediscovering your past interests, your connection with your inner child, connection with nature, etc., etc. So there are many reasons, and I believe each person gets put into this stage of isolation during their journey for different reasons, because each person obviously is different. We're all different. There will never be someone like me. There will never be someone like you ever again. So what I can speak about is, my own thing, and you can interpret that however it serves you. But everybody comes into this with a specific purpose, with a specific lesson, right? So it's really individual from person to person. But what I want to talk about today specifically is to get to know yourself at a higher vibration. Now, once you start going through this, transformation, through this what we may call spiritual awakening, this process of self-discovery and growth, you discover certain spiritual practices. You discover certain truths about the nature of this universe, the nature of our being. You get to know yourself at a deeper level, and that does tend to elevate you on a certain energetic level. Your thoughts become more high vibrational because you start paying attention to them. Your language, the way you express yourself, your desires, your thought process, your actions, your interests, it all kind of starts moving in a positive direction, right? And that's something which you may have not encountered yet on this journey. Hence why at first it is so uncomfortable. At first it is so weird dealing with it, because you've never been used to this energy. You've never dealt with this high vibrational state. And speaking from personal experience, it's not easy to handle, and that does tend to drive you somewhat, crazy at times. But this feeling that, it's too much to handle, it's like, what's going on? That's what actually causes a lot of the breakthroughs. That's what causes you to actually discover a lot of your true passions and actually start following your mission, working on your ambitions, working on your mission, discovering yourself at a deeper level, integrating more practices into your life which serve you. And I believe that is that can allow for the biggest breakthroughs to occur, because you're isolated. You have nowhere to run. You're just there by yourself. You just deal with it. You're just there alone, and you got to figure it out. And what I did for the longest time, I tried to suppress that with certain substances. For me, that was nicotine and weed. That seemed to work for a certain time, but eventually even that doesn't work. There's many things which you may do to try to lower your vibration, try to bring yourself down, but you cannot kind of prevent your true self from emerging. You can never, no matter how far you suppress yourself, how far you kind of bring yourself down, if you're destined to come back up, you're going to come back up. And then you have to start really learning how to manage that energy, how to integrate that energy into something productive. You then, become this kind of alchemist of energy. You really start getting deep into this, and you learn how to transmute that energy into what works for me is physical activity, creative, that would be physical, creative, and certain spiritual techniques, right? You can transmute that energy into whatever you desire, whatever kind of serves you. And that's where you have kind of the biggest breakthroughs, because when you can channel energy towards something, it becomes so much more powerful in a way. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense exactly, but this heightened vibration can definitely be used for physical performance. I know that I would not be able to handle this energy, handle this heightened vibrational state, this heightened electromagnetic field of pure electricity, without me consistently going on long distance runs, me going to the gym, me doing yoga, me meditating, me, stretching, or doing, now I recently started kickboxing again. So that is something that really helps. What also very much helps is having a creative outlet. For me, that would be writing essays on, for example, I study homeopathy, a plant-based medicine. I channel my energy into this. I recently started this YouTube channel. I'm channeling this energy into that. And at some point you just can't keep running away from yourself. You actually have to start getting at it. You actually have to go get it. You get what I'm trying to say? You cannot keep yourself down for the longest time. You have to become comfortable with this new elevated state. And the quicker I feel like you're able to express it and transmute it and put it towards something productive, put it towards something higher than yourself even, put it towards something that's not going to give you instant gratification like the way you used to chase it, but that's when you really get the biggest kind of results. That's when you really start becoming aligned with your path, with your authentic path, And isolation really plays a role into that, because you're now not even exposed to any external influence, right? At some point, you're just not even exposed to anything outside yourself anymore. There's no one telling you this is how you have to do things, or what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is right. For you, it's just silence now. So you're left with no option but to find the answers for yourself, to, as I mentioned in my past video, go within to discover your true authentic self and the stuff which you're truly interested in. You will not have the option to sit there and get feedback, get certain comments, get, energy and validation from anything outside yourself. So it's really now up to you to make yourself proud. It's now up to you to overcome your vices, overcome your challenges, overcome, negative states of thinking, false belief systems that no longer serve you. And then you start working on it, you start integrating it. And then it makes you feel powerful. At some point, it makes you feel very powerful, because you realize that you can do it all by yourself. You do not have to rely on anything outside yourself to get what you want and to become who you want to be. It really takes a switch. It's like it's a bit like the stock market, like a stock market chart, you know? It's at first, this period is very painful and frustrating. That's for the longest time. For the longest time, it's frustrating and lonely and stuff like that, right? But then it actually becomes very liberating. It becomes empowering because you are now more powerful than you've ever been, and you've done it all by yourself. You've done it alone. You get what I'm trying to say? You didn't need no one all along. You may have thought that you needed someone, but the universe isolated you so that you could discover your true power. You could discover that, damn, I don't need to wait for anybody to come into my life. I don't need for some special person, for some, I don't know, some leprechaun on top of a rainbow to hand me a pile of gold. I can create that pile of gold by myself, step at a time, you know? I'm so scatterbrained. Holy shit. I'm not even joking. I went so off topic. Get to know yourself at a higher vibration. That's what the video is about. Okay. Let me cook. Give me a sec. Yeah, this boredom, this, existential dread, this emptiness which you felt at first on this process of isolation, on this journey of when the universe isolates you. You also overcome that by yourself. And that makes it more powerful because you did not fill this existential dread, you did not fill this emptiness with things outside yourself. You didn't fill it with friends, you didn't fill it with a girlfriend, some sexual partner, some drug, some, I don't know, whatever gets you going basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever it is that you use to suppress your state, to, I think you get what I'm trying to say. You actually sit by yourself, you get bored, and out of this boredom, you rise up, you start creating, because you're not constantly overstimulated or suppressed by outside influences. You are now left alone. You are now left alone with the cosmos. When you're alone, that is an illusion. It is an illusion that you are alone. You are never alone. There are millions of people who are experiencing what you are experiencing. And if there have been people in the past that have experienced what you have or worse. So you share that connection with that person, even if they died, even if they're no longer here. It energetically connects us. You get what I'm trying to say? It ties us together. You're never alone in this. There's whatever you're going through, you are not alone. That is an illusion. You may feel like it, but that's the whole purpose of it. The universe wants you to feel like you're alone and then go through this transformative period to then rise up and realize that that was never the truth in the first place, right? Even if a good place to be is when you're alone but not lonely. I've been alone for the longest time. I've been on my own, working on myself, doing my thing for the longest time now. I'm not even joking, it's been so long, but I have not felt lonely in a long time. It used to kill me, it used to be horrible, it used to genuinely rip me apart, but I don't feel lonely anymore. I just don't, because I know that I am part of the whole cosmos. I am connected to the whole thing. There's no separation. Separation is illusion. Let me show you some. I mentioned that I study this alternative form of medicine called homeopathy. Hold up. You see this guy? Homie looking crazy. This is Samuel Hahnemann. This is the guy who invented this art of healing. This guy lived like 200 years ago. When I'm reading his book, it feels like I'm in a room with him, having a conversation with him. That's another really good advice. Books or this sort of creative outlet gives you connection to the author, to whatever it is that you're engaged with. You get what I'm trying to say? When I'm reading this book and then using this information to write up an essay for my studies, I am connected to this guy because I'm reading what he wrote. If that makes any sense. And it is really, I find it so amazing how I can have a connection to a genius, an absolute genius that existed 200 years ago, and he is no longer alive, but I still kind of have that connection to him now, and I can learn from him. I find that interesting. Maybe one day, in like 200 years, some kid is gonna find this video and be like, damn, I relate to this guy. This weird dude in 2024 talking to a camera. I relate to this guy. This guy that has a clock on his wall that does not even work. It's broken as fuck. It's broken as fuck. You know what I'm trying to do with this clock? I'm trying to give off the impression that time has stopped for me, because time is an illusion as well. Time has stopped and I'm stuck in the matrix. I'm stuck in this room. I'm not allowed to leave this room. And I'm stuck here for eternity, which has given me the isolation and all the wisdom that I've required to become as wise as I have. So now I can just share it with the world. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, in reality, this clock just don't got batteries and I'm too lazy to change it, but that sounded way cooler what I just said, didn't it? All right. I think that was enough for now. I did enough yapping. I hope some of this was useful. I know I didn't go too deep into this whole thing. I'm just dropping little seeds. I'm just dropping little messages. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to drop certain info so that you can then take that little piece that I gave you and like research it deeper, go deeper into it, find like your own way, integrate your own thinking, your own passion, your own interest, your own creativity, your own gifts into the kind of hints, the kind of ideas that I suggested. You can then use that, integrate it for yourself, create something beautiful out of it. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Thanks for being here. All love. See ya.